Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And, of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Of course, big news later on today. We're going to be defending the Church of Friendos' tag team championships over there at Quizzlemania. But because Larson has prior obligations, we're freebirding this shit.
Yep.
Me and Alex are going to be partnering up. And yeah, it's going to be like the time that Stone Cold Steve Austin and my favorite wrestler and her favorite wrestler, HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, got together and won the WWF Tag Team Championships. And they were a totally cohesive unit, if I recall correctly.
Totally. They were cohesive long enough to be champions. So,
do you know how they lost those titles?
That's I kind of feel like that's difficult, pretty difficult question to answer at this time of day. I'll be honest with you.
No,
like to expect anything out of me before noon is asking a lot.
It's one of those that's like pretty cut and dry. It's not like who did they lose it to and when. They had them for 2 months, and they had to vacate them because of the backstage fight between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
yeah, and then that's when Austin defended it with Dude Love. So yeah, I feel because I was looking for footage to post up on the Twitter to do this thing, and then so yeah, I've already reached out to Alex, who is actually here in the chat. She says, "Hell yeah, we are."
Hi, Alex.
And I had to reach out because honestly, the most important thing about all this is shirt coordination.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm going to wear the Church of Friendo shirt. I've got mine ready to go. So we're good to go.
Be on the same page in that respect. Yes.
We're on the same page.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Steve, Alex, you got this. You got this.
We do. Do we? We do.
You're going to do great. Yeah, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. Alex is going to do great.
You meet Kendall and say, why not? What?
You're going to do great.
We know Alex is going to do great. She's a former champion.
Yes.
I'm a clown, and not a particularly good clown, but maybe she can wheelbarrow this team. You know, she can put me in the wheelbarrow and carry me to victory.
This is what I feel like. The last 2 times we've been on, we defended those titles. I think the round that benefited us most was the Family Feud round. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what have you been watching a lot of on Smash Zone?
Family Feud. Good answer. Yeah. Who was the first WWF champion? Pink Elephant.
As long as they don't do that, they'll be fine. You and Alex.
I agree. I agree with this. Alex says, Steve, we have the best chemistry out of all the other bozo teams. Alex, they're a bunch of nincompoops. And I agree. I think Alex and I look, man, this is going to be me and Alex is making each other laugh the whole time. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be great. So check that out. It's over at Parts Fun Known, 1 p.m. It's probably happening as this podcast goes up on YouTube.
Probably, yeah. I'll be putting this together as you get ready for that.
So let's talk about this. Let's get this done so I can get ready for Quizzlemania.
Yeah.
Corey Graves.
Yes.
Awesome announcer. So social media user, but awesome announcer. I really like Corey Graves. Apparently, and at one point, he was. Some people might not know this. Most people probably do. Some people might not. He used to be a wrestler. He was actually in early days of NXT.
Yeah, he was a former NXT tag champ with Neville.
With Pac, that's right. And of course, the dude's got a great look, great looking guy. But unfortunately, due to concussions, he was forced to retire in 2014. But like many other wrestlers who once thought that was it, that was the end of the line, might not be for Corey Graves. What's going on, Larson?
So Fightful Select is reporting, by the way, please go subscribe to Fightful Select. They're great. They're reporting that Corey Graves is apparently no longer on WWE's no contact list. Graves retired, as he mentioned, from in-ring competition back in 2014, moved full-time to commentary. However, he did briefly hold the 24/7 title last year. Fightful has some additional details about creative pitches apparently made in relation to Corey. However, I would suggest go check out their story to get more. They just dropped this today. Don't want to divulge everything here on this show. The main idea, though, is potentially Corey Graves has been cleared to potentially wrestle again.
He was on. He had Edge on his podcast, And he had told Edge that was a very inspiring thing to see Edge come back after he had retired. Obviously, Daniel Bryan went through the same thing. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome. I would really like to see this. I personally think that whenever he's in a real life relationship publicly with Carmella, and whenever she comes out, he starts going crazy about her. I personally thought it'd be cool if he was like her manager. I think they'd make a terrific on-screen team. I think he's really good at commentary, and I think it'd be awesome if this dude is able to get out from behind commentary and be a wrestler. I always felt, man, taking one look at this guy, he has the looks. Clearly he can talk. He's probably just learned a lot more about talking over the past 7 years since he went to commentary. 8 years. If he started commentary in 2014, has it been 8 years?
Yeah, I don't remember when exactly in 2014.
Yeah,
It's been 7, 8 years.
It might have been late in 20. Yeah, it might be.
I kind of feel like it was. I remember he made his
Wasn't it
announcement
like December of 2014
in
or
one of the
something?
pre-shows for a takeover. That he
Yeah,
was,
right. I
he
remember
was-
that.
he
Yeah,
was
I
done
swear it
wrestling.
was late. It was. Really
I kind of
late,
feel that way too.
2014.
Anyways, I know you mentioned was it yesterday about Pat McAfee leaving the commentary table to join the Royal Rumble. What if Corey Graves did that?
Oh man! Of course, he won the 24/7 title for a couple minutes not long ago, and that was evidence that hey, even because if you're like, for example, if you're on a no contact list, here's an obvious one: if you're pregnant. If you're pregnant, you're not going to get rolled up for the 24/7 title, and they take that level of Corey's previous status was that level of no contact, not even getting rolled up. So yeah, the fact that he was even able to get rolled up, I think that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I wonder how he would be able to, from a character standpoint, for us to start perceiving him. It's often difficult if you've been sort of if your presentation has been one thing for so long in pro wrestling to try to transition to another thing. He was sort of the cool punk type guy back in the day, and he's not that now. So I wonder what kind of character tweaks he would make in order to do that. I'd be very interested in seeing him try if he was cleared, if he was healthy to do that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyways, moving on here. Let's talk about the competition between WWE and AEW, specifically where it matters kind of most, and is actually some form of competition. That's competition between companies in terms of talent. Apparently, WWE might have their eyes on a very specific AEW talent, not MJF, but his bodyguard.
Yes.
So this comes to us from Wrestle Votes. Says, with his biggest match to date happening later tonight, I can confirm without hesitation that WWE will be extremely interested in luring Wardlow away from AEW when his contract is due. There are several people within World Wrestling Entertainment that love his potential.
That's from Wrestle Votes. I don't know if you mentioned that beforehand. Some people don't think this is a Steve exclusive story.
No, I thought I said Wrestle Votes.
Sorry.
This is also kind of in the Captain Obvious territory. I mean, I don't know. Kind of like, okay.
I mean, like Wardlow does check basically every box that WWE seems to want these days for NXT talent. Maybe WWE shouldn't get their hopes up too much, though, because of a recent interview. Wardlow's been making the press rounds. He has this interview with PW Insider. We're going to quote from here in a bit. And then just before we started, I saw that he did an interview, or at least Sports Illustrated did a piece on him. This is what Wardlow had to say about being AEW for life to PW Insider. Quote, yeah, I talked about this last night, Ashley. In 10 to 20 years, I'm going to be so excited and proud to look back and say that I was one of the AEW originals, and that means so much to me because my career started. Obviously, I did some indies, but the world didn't know me. As far as the world knows, my career started with AEW, and it's going to end with AEW. And I look forward to accomplishing, I can't talk today, and growing as much as humanly possible and reach the stars throughout the next 10 years. AEW made my lifelong wildest dreams come true. Tony Khan gave me that. Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, they gave me that. The way people are treated here, the schedule. I am so beyond blessed, and I don't think there's any convincing me that the grass is greener on any other side. Very, very happy with AEW and the way I'm treated and just how the whole company is ran head to toe.
Any company would be overjoyed after what we've seen from Wardlow to get Wardlow.
Yeah.
So
I feel like he's just still scratching the surface of what he can do and what he's eventually going to be.
I can't wait. I can't wait until they really kick the Wardlow MJF story into full gear. To me, like it's got sort of shades of like Batista Triple H, and that one storyline, leading into Mania with the thumbs up, thumbs down thing, really just took Batista to that next level and made a massive star out of him.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that's sort of not sort of a former WWE guy, not like a long-term guy, like I could see Wardlow getting that title, maybe even from MJF, if MJF is the guy down the line to get it, let's say in a year from now or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, because I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if MJF was the guy to get it off of Hangman.
Yeah, I would fully expect that.
That would not shock me at all, and it would be totally within the realm of possibility. You give him, if they do everything right with Wardlow over like a year-long period, man, that's like Batista territory within the context of AEW anyways. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, they've been doing a pretty good job of having that story percolate for about a year, where MJF is taking Wardlow for granted, being a general jerk to him, and it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming. And when it does, it's going to be great. Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Several years ago, I was dealing with severe anxiety, and I learned how important it was to talk to a therapist, but I also learned that it could be really difficult to find the right person to talk to. Today, BetterHelp is providing a safe, convenient, and private online environment where your needs will be assessed, and you'll be matched with your own licensed personal therapist.
BetterHelp isn't a crisis line, nor is it self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online, and you don't have to limit yourself to counselors in your area. BetterHelp services are available worldwide, so you can find the expertise you need regardless of location.
BetterHelp is dedicated to facilitating great therapeutic matches, all without having to sit in another uncomfortable waiting room. You can send your counselor messages whenever you want, and you can schedule regular phone or video sessions. And BetterHelp has made it free and easy to change therapists if needed.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a Going In Raw listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/raw. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
NXT 2.0. I actually thought, is it just me or last night a pretty decent episode?
I thought it was all right. We had some good matches, I thought. It's I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to pro wrestling. You give me in-ring action and just enough talking to motivate those matches, and I'm generally pretty content. And I thought that's something that NXT did pretty well last night. They had talking bits to motivate story, and otherwise focused on in-ring action.
Speaking of in-ring action, I still don't give two shits about the guy, but Grayson Waller, and I understand he was in a match with AJ Styles, but still it takes two. Grayson Waller put on a hell of a performance last night, and that's the kind of stuff that will eventually make me give a shit about you, regardless of whether or not I care about your character stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing and exceeding expectations. I just don't care for that type of character.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't know if I necessarily do either. That being said, I see the improvement week after week. You have like Carmelo Hayes. He had a ton of experience on the independents, or quite a bit. I don't know exactly how long he's been. He was working the indies before coming to NXT. But when he showed up, he felt like, okay, this guy, he doesn't need the development time that a lot of these other guys or women will have, especially the people that were just signed in February. He came in and kind of felt like the finished product ready to go,
Yeah.
Like he was good on the mic. His ring work was fantastic. And then, but then you have these people that are being brought in, especially just since February. I don't know when Grayson Waller was signed. But since his debut, you see the evolution. You see the improvement. He's always been like pretty athletic. You see the ring work come together. You see the mic work come together.
Yeah.
And like the character, whatever. It's not my thing per se, but you see the growth. And like I said before, that's what I have to get out of NXT these days.
No, it is. It's awesome. I feel like they're putting him out there, and he is doing everything you would think that they want him to do and more. And especially you put him in the ring with a guy like AJ Styles. AJ Styles will be able to come back there and say, hey, yeah, yay or nay. I don't see any way they could have given him a nay for last night, because I thought that was a terrific. There's a couple terrific matches last night, to be honest with you. I thought the Tony D'Angelo,
that was a lot
although
of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a bit silly, but it's a crowbar and a pole match. Of course, it's going to be a bit on the silly side. Hey, let me ask this really quick.
Sure.
This is a shocking change. Your notes are in proper capitalization.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Steve, but at least my experience with Chromebooks, there's no cap locks key on them.
You're right. I forgot about
and
that.
That is why. Because
Wow.
here's another thing too. When I take notes on because I have my normal laptop right here,
Yeah.
and then I'm borrowing one of my kids' laptops to watch wrestling on my TV. So I have to. My laptop's huge. The battery has like no.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I
it
got
lasts
the
like a couple
same
hours
giant
at best.
rig,
But this
yeah.
one, it's got good battery life. It's lightweight, and so I've been taking notes on here just because it's convenient. But yeah, no cap locks. And I do it.
right.
One other reason I do it with caps on this is because then it's quicker for me to type, and I don't have to worry about shift letter. When I need to start a new
yeah.
sentence or write a name or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury here, so yes, it's not all in caps. So
For a second, I thought you were going to be like, well, I knew you don't take notes for NXT, so I did it for you.
no, it's giving me too much credit.
Oh, man. Let's talk about this really quick. Me and the Enforcer and, of course, the Friendos, we had like a heavy crowd. We had like 170 people
that's
watching with us
cool.
last night over at MFC.
Very
It
cool.
was great. We got 2 championship promos last. Well, actually 3 if you consider all the toxic attraction stuff. But we got 2 in-ring promos from champions last night. We had Braun Breaker, who opened the show with a promo, and we got Carmelo Hayes a little bit later. Carmelo, I understand why you go with Braun Breaker as the first. They kind of have their cake and eat it too, with Carmelo claiming I'm the A champion. He's the only guy putting on takeover matches. Or takeover level matches, I should say. Braun Breaker comes out in his mom jeans and he cuts a very generic promo. I thought it felt genuine though.
Yeah.
But, the substance of it was fairly generic, whereas Carmelo and Trick come out and you can't take your eyes off them. And as good as Trick is, Carmelo's getting there really quickly. Carmelo is becoming a really good talker. I liked his little rest and piss thing, and
Oh, that was great.
they had the Roderick Strong with the old
I know.
English RAP in it.
The shirt, that was the shirt that Mello was wearing last week, wasn't it?
Right? Yeah. Dude, I love everything about those guys, and I do just kind of appreciate it. I mean, I don't know how much there's to talk about it in terms of like comparing and contrasting, because they do get to kind of get both at the same time. You got one guy elevating what is typically known as the mid-card title. You have him elevating that, and you have your big face of the company, Braun Breaker, coming out, and he's. I mean, I understand why Braun automatically gets more buzz, because he's simply a Steiner. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how they are able to sort of have 2 main champions at the same time.
Yeah, and then with Braun being the NXT champ, I guess in terms of the hierarchy of champions within NXT, the top champ, and then you have Mello saying that he's the A champ. There's a collision course that could potentially happen there. Whether it's with Braun and Mello or whoever beats Braun, depending on how long they're going to wait to tell that story. They'll eventually collide and have some sort of match to determine who is the top champion in NXT, and that's generally good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Champion versus champion matches. There's a lot of good stuff you could do there.
If they get to that point, that'll be good. I wonder if that'll be when one of them is going to be ready to be called up. Here, real quick tip for you. There's 2 things real quick. Nightmare here in chat says press Alt plus search to turn on caps lock.
Oh, now that I know
So you
that.
can actually do it. And then also, is the MLW suing WWE over the Tubi deal considered non-news?
I almost had it in there.
Yeah.
But then I took that out for the Wardlow thing because I thought Wardlow was just
Actual news?
Well, I mean, as you said, it's kind of obvious news.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
What's your quick thought on the MLW WWE thing?
I'm not a legal scholar. I don't know if their case has merits or not. I read the little thing they put out, and I'm like, all right. I mean, like, this sounds like stuff WWE has done in the past, so.
It seems on par with what they do.
That's kind of why I didn't really put it in there, because I don't know what to say other than, it looks like something they could have done. Whereas the Wardlow thing, there was the tweet, there was the interview bit he did.
Yeah, no, it's great.
There's more to talk
yeah.
about. We're a podcast.
Yeah.
We need to fill up time. And apart from me saying 2 sentences about a lawsuit that I know nothing about, I didn't know what I could contribute to that conversation. And therefore, I took it out.
Do you think Tubi would be a transformative deal for MLW? Would all of a sudden that blow them up to the mainstream?
What channel is MLW on again? Vice, right?
Vice. Yeah, and then they were going to have a Tubi deal, apparently, to stream on Tubi.
I mean, transformative? I don't know about transformative, but not everybody has Vice. I know you can go online and watch stuff on Tubi.
For them, it might have been good, but I don't know. I feel like of all the egregious things WWE has done, what I saw in the MLW lawsuit seemed like not even in the top 20. But I mean, if they think that that's a thing and they think they can outlawyer the WWE, I mean, good luck with that. MLW's problem is not that they're not on Tubi. They have such a hard time creating any buzz for their company, and I like their product.
I do. But I like a lot of talent on their roster.
Terrific talent. I'm not able to watch any of it because there's so much other wrestling that feels more buzzworthy, more interesting, more, that has more of a conversation around it. And MLW just, they're not quite there. That's the problem, is just trying to compete with all the other content that's out there. And that's nothing against MLW. It's a fine product. It really is. Mm-hmm. But man, there's just, somebody asked me on, I did a Wrestle Juice AMA the other day, and somebody said, would GCW work on TV as opposed to their mini pay-per-view model? I'm like, no. Like, GCW is great, but if you take their, the fact their production doesn't look great, if you take that out of it, there's just too much damn competition for weekly wrestling on TV. There's just way too much. Impact has a really good product, a really fun product. And what do they get? Like, they're lucky these days to get 70,000, 100,000 in
100,000
viewership.
For the viewership, yeah.
And they have like names. They have like names on their show.
Yeah. And generally speaking, a very good weekly product. I know. There's so much competition out there.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
So what was that? 2 minutes? 2 minutes talk about MLW lawsuit.
Well, I just know that people are going to make comments asking us about it, and I'm with you. When I saw this, I was like, oh, whoa, what is this about? Let me read this, and I was like, really, Tubi? All right, well, good luck with that, Court. Have at it, buddy.
Yeah. See what comes of it, if anything.
See what comes of it. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, let's talk about NXT.
Sure.
We've talked about it a little bit. Let's dive into the details here.
Let's do it. Opened with the Braun Breaker promo.
Yeah.
And it seemed very genuine, very good-natured. It's like, hey, I'm champ. Pretty happy about that right now. I got my merch shirt tucked into my jeans. So he says, I want to thank Ciampa. He's an unbelievable athlete, great performer, unbelievable human. Says after the match, Ciampa congratulated me, told me it was my time. Then he went over to my dad, paid respects to my dad, who was watching me wrestle live for the first time. He says, I'm ready for this. And what I love about NXT the most is that we don't get any days off. Week after week, they have to get back on the horse, perform for the fans. So to anyone who wants to challenge for this NXT title, every day that they're showing up for training, guess what? I've already trained. Any day that you show up to watch film, guess what? I've already watched my film. You want to leave early? I'm staying. Why? Because I'm the champ, and I'm going to prove why I've earned it each and every week. And he leaves the ring just as Santos Escobar is making his way out for his match against Zion Quinn. So I wonder if that's teasing Braun's next feud.
Did Santos just accidentally stumble into a beatdown by Braun Breaker? Is that what he was like? They're like, okay, go out, your music's playing. But Braun's still out there. No, it's okay. It's just we're doing the crossover.
No, it's
thing.
Fine. It's fine.
Oh, hey, you're my next challenger. Yeah, jacked. He's like, fuck. I'm about to win this match. It was my first win in like a year.
You have to get that win so he looks strong going into this feud against Braun, which he'll lose.
What is Santos' record right now? It's
probably
dog shit because this dude does not win matches.
I know, and he didn't win this one clean.
No, he needed a kick to the butthole to do it. So Santos Escobar versus Zion Quinn for possession of Elektra Lopez, because she had stated that whoever wins this gets to have her or whatever. Santos works over Zion's leg. Anyways, the finish of this saw a bunch of overbooked stuff. Raul gets on the apron. Zion chases him off, allows Santos to dump him over the rope. Santos follows. Elektra steps up to Santos. Zion lays him out from behind, decks him when he's about to go for a suicide dive. And then while the ref is distracted, Zion's having a little a tender moment there with Elektra.
Uh-huh.
I know in your notes it says tender. I say tender.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, did you say that intentionally?
I did. And then he turns his back on her, and then she kicks him square in the balls.
I think it's
and
supposed to be like a ball kick from behind, but it looks like it was more in the butt.
Like a butt. But he bent over. He says, "Ah, my dick." And it was like, wow, they're really letting them get away with a lot there on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets back in after, well, with the dick in the taint area all throbbing, and Santos hits the Phantom Driver for the win.
Yep.
Next, NXT Campeon. Nope. But, I don't know. That'd be a good match. Hey, if you want to make Braun look legit, put him in there with good wrestlers like Santos. That's
I know. Then we got Tony D'Angelo promo. He's talking about there's 16, different ways to use a crowbar, but tonight he's only going to have to use 3. He's like, hey, I know. I didn't want to be hungry while we are doing the show, so I ate something real fast before we started. Of course, we eat something fast.
Man, yeah.
Bleh, bleh. So he says, I tried to be a nice guy, just leave you, Pete Dunne, with a broken hand, but now you want to come after me? Huge mistake. Tonight, you're done. I don't know if that was his attempt at a pun or not. Finished. All I wanted was a trophy from War Games, your mouthpiece, but you wouldn't listen, and like my dog, you're going to learn that I'm in charge.
I said this last night as well. Tony D'Angelo comes from, the amateur wrestling background. This dude said this 3-minute promo, stayed in character, didn't stumble. You have to stop for a second and appreciate that, because he's staying in character. He's as believable as he's going to be in this sort of ridiculous, role that he's in. Mm-hmm. But he kind of nails it. He actually does a pretty damn good job.
Here's the thing. When they first debuted him, I was like, oh, what is this gimmick?
Yeah.
As you mentioned, week in, week out, he's staying in. Again, it's development. He's staying in character.
Yeah.
Not just in promos, but in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you see his ring work improving.
Yeah.
You see the growth.
Because that kind of stuff, when you just sit in front of a camera and you deliver a promo like this flawlessly, that ain't easy. And even if it took him 3 or 4 takes, who cares? Yeah. He does it well. Acting isn't easy. You got to put yourself out there.
You do. After that, we had a Mandy Rose photo shoot promo video package type deal.
It wasn't even the only one, too. There was
there's another one for Toxic Attraction, the whole group.
Toxic Attraction.
Later on.
Then we had Gable Stevenson's brother, Damon Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his Bob Stevenson, I think.
Bob Stevenson.
I think it's Bobby, isn't it? I
don't know. I honestly don't know.
Let's see here. It is. It's Bob. Bobby.
Good job.
Robert Stevenson versus Cameron Grimes. Bivens comes to the stage to watch, which makes me think that Damon Kemp is totally headed to the Diamond Mine because they just lost one of their coaches, so why not pick up another recruit? Grimes wins this with the cave-in. Says in 2022 there's no more games. He's the man around here, and he's coming for the gold. We're actually going to get a little bit more of a hint as to what gold he's coming for a little bit later.
Yep.
But before that, we had this Joe Gacy promo where it's just talk, and this screams the worst of Bray Wyatt.
That's what I was going to say.
Bray Wyatt was at his, whenever they had nothing for him to do really, he would drop these promos, and it just none of it made a damn lick of sense. That none of it mattered.
Yeah,
it's all just in the same tone. There's no peaks, no valleys, no ups, no downs. It's boring as fuck. I really like Joe Gacy as a wrestler. And I think this character has promise, but it's the exact same type of thing as Bray Wyatt. It's interesting until you have nothing for it, and then it's just dull.
Yeah. It just seems like they're focused so much on... It almost seems like they're focusing so much on developing Harland as a character.
Yeah.
That Gacy is used almost exclusively for that, as opposed to... doing something where they are both in a situation where they can develop. Because, again, this match was just about showcasing Harlan. And Gacy is in there to get beat up, get a hot tag, and then calm Harlan down after he loses his cool.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. This whole promo is about, hey, thanks to the committee for letting us be involved in this Play-In Dusty Classic match. We appreciate being able to participate in such a historic event. So they'll remember the rest of our lives. They plan to use this platform to demonstrate that no matter one's size, skills, or experience, that everyone involved has an equal opportunity to win. They say to Malik Blade and Idris Enofe that when you step in the ring with us, it'll be a safe space. Although tonight they may be rivals, Harlan wants you to know that doesn't make them rivals in real life.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's cool. I get it. He's, the dude, the monster, I guess. He's Dr. Frankenstein or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I need, and on top of that, this sort of speaks to one of your earlier points, and I was waiting on this, and they still haven't really delivered. What is the correlation between his Dr. Frankenstein and his monster thing, and with all the sort of super neoliberal stuff, the safe space and the snowflake stuff?
Yeah, we still need to know the nature of their relationship.
That's still, like, he's still kind of doing that stuff, but he's being, like, less blatant about it. It feels like they're phasing that out in favor of a more traditional, I'm the puppet master and he's my monster puppet thing. And it's like, why did you even start with it? Was it just to capture some buzz until you figured out what you were going to do with it? And then you realize, well, you got Harlan there and that stuff really doesn't equate. Look, you can try to look at the whole thing and put the pieces together, but to me it screams they didn't really know in the first place where they were going to go with all that stuff.
It felt like an idea for a character rather than a character arc,
Yeah, exactly.
This next bit was funny because commentary just says that Von Wagner was fined and suspended following his actions last week.
Yeah,
we'll
find out why that's funny. Yeah, we'll find out why it's funny in a little bit.
Yeah.
But before that, we had Malik Blade and Idris Enofe versus Joe Gacy and Harlan. Now, this was like a play-in match for the Dusty Cup. Blade and Enofe had a promo saying, people think we're not a real team. We're going to go win this match, win this tournament. We're going to shock the world. And, you figure they're in there with Harlan and Gacy. They don't really stand much of a chance. And it was great because last night on the stream, we had people lose their entire life savings of channel points on this match. It was hilarious.
I assume you were not one of them.
I think I missed the prediction.
Oh, fortune smiled upon Steve.
Luckily, I missed the prediction. So yeah, the Steve and Larson channel point bank is safe.
Good. Good to know.
So yeah, but Harlan just ends up getting himself DQ'd, and Gacy seems to not really care about it.
Yeah,
he doesn't adhere to the 5 count in the corner.
Yeah. Because he started bashing Blade's head into the top turnbuckle. And then he started bashing his head to like the top rope, and then pinned him against the top turnbuckle and just like rubbing his forearm into his head.
Yeah,
he was just doing that.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, not a whole lot of wrestling for this Harlan guy, but
no,
I guess sometimes you don't. I mean, even a Moss has some moves.
Yeah, I know. Again, we're watching wrestlers develop into potential WWE superstars here.
Yeah, no, I know, and it's interesting. Like, at what point are they? That's part of the interesting bit. Is at what point are they ready? At what point can they execute a move or two?
Yeah, I know. And when we see the moment where it really clicks for Harlan, and he can unlock the full potential of what he can do, that could be awesome. Or maybe it's a situation where, like, hey, we want you to be this very specific thing, so we don't want you out there doing all sorts of moves.
Yeah,
I don't know. We want you just to be, like pure brute force.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy about it,
Did I mention Maggie just posted a Lace Gems in the chat? Did we say something about jewelry or anything? I don't know.
Not that I recall.
Let's see what she says. After that, we had an Imperium video package.
This was so corny.
Oh no, this was awesome because somebody just sprung some money for some new generic stock footage of people being lazy.
I know.
So it was an Imperium video package.
Hold on, was there a picture of a button popping off a shirt?
Yes, there was, and a gut coming through. Yes. And Enforcer and I were dying laughing. I was like, oh, hey, there I am on the couch. Because it's all just like, them being all cut and practicing in the ring, and then stock footage of lazy sloth assholes. It was pretty great.
It was pretty cheesy. So they were basically the thesis is here: we work harder. The road to perfection is paved with pain and suffering, but they carry themselves with class, integrity, and sophistication. Of course, to them, the mat is sacred.
Yeah. No, this was great, and I love that at the end. You've got Eichner, who's got on sort of a Euro type shirt with a low cut. You've got Bartel with like an awesome looking turtleneck. And it's funny when it's so great because Bartel is so far and away in better shape than the other two. And Fabian Eichner's in great shape.
Yeah.
Great shape, but Bartel is in like top.
He looks like he's chiseled from stone. Yeah.
He looks amazing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Walter just looks like a dude who recently lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got like a black polo shirt on from Target. Oh, man. It was pretty awesome. Anyways, after that, we had Tony D'Angelo versus Pete Dunne. Crowbar on a pole match.
This was fun.
It was goofy as shit, but it's a crowbar on a pole match.
I don't know what you could expect from this.
The number of times that Pete Dunne, had the crowbars like, look at it, how do I get this thing off? And then eventually when Tony D'Angelo finally does, he just gets it and yanks it.
Yeah.
And it's his. Yeah. And then he loses it immediately. The other guy gets it. He loses it.
I did like how he lost it, though. So he takes a swing at Dunne, and Dunne ducks it. So he takes another swing at Dunne, but he's close to the rope. So he takes the swing, the hook part of the crowbar gets caught on the top rope.
Yeah.
And he's yanking on it to get off. That allows Dunne to come through and get it. I thought, okay, that's actually a pretty well executed, clever spot. I like that.
Yeah. It's pretty clever. Pretty silly. But yeah, there was all sorts of, it was great because, Dunne kept on using the crowbar as the deal, putting him in the crossface with it. Tony would find clever ways to get out of it. In the end, though, it just took one blast of the crowbar to Dunne's face.
That was it. I mean, that
to get the win for Tony D, which makes all the sense. You're not getting up from that.
Nope.
Yeah. As we said in the chat last night, it was like a GTA wasted Peter Dunne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasted.
Fun match though. After that, Grayson Waller interview, he said he's in the main event where he's destined to be, where he deserves to be, and that's where he's going to be staying. He says, "I'm everywhere right now. My social media is going off. I'm the face of NXT 2.0. I'm on Raw. Maybe I'll go to SmackDown and slap Roman or Nakamura in the face." He says, "I create Grayson Waller moments like jumping off the cage at War Games. The chair shot heard around the world tonight. I'm going to create another Grayson Waller moment."
Grayson Waller. After that, we had Persia and Indy warming up backstage. Wendy Chu wakes up, ready for their match, coming up in a little bit. First up, we had a Toxic Attraction video package. This is one of those things that, dude, I think that all of Toxic Attraction, they're good wrestlers. This is the kind of thing that if I'd look, maybe it's just not the demographic that a person be watching if they have like a bunch of family members around. But if I was watching this in the living room and Lacey walked in, she'd be like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's wrestling," But it's like I'm probably not the demographic they're going after. I'm the demographic they have. I'm not the demographic they're going after. I'm the old man demographic. They don't want me, but they got me.
Yeah, that's what they got.
It was funny. I love just how they wanted to be so blatant about it, because there was one shot just of a close up of butt cheeks. So it's like, the kid's like, dude, can we put butt cheeks in there? Let's just do like a flash frame of butt cheeks. We don't want to do more than that. But yeah. Anyways,
then we get Indy, Persia, and Wendy Chu versus Amari Miller, Casey Catanzaro, and Caden Carter. This match was fun, and Wendy Chu, why didn't they do this gimmick with her to begin with? Because this is a lot of fun.
This was great.
This feels like something that she knows. She knows this character inside and out, and this feels like this is completely seamless and believable for her to do.
This is isn't this representative of the demographic they have? Yeah, this is just me, man. This is me at 3:00 just taping. No, I love this. Is great. This is basically isn't this like their response to the Orange Cassidy type character?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's
awesome.
It's
great.
Yeah. And it was pulled off seamlessly. It was great.
It only works if it's a really good wrestler. It seemed like Orange Cassidy. This dude's been doing it for 15 years. It only works if you're a really good wrestler. Mm-hmm. Karen Q, Wendy Chu, is a great wrestler, and she's able to pull this stuff off seamlessly. The crowd's really into it. It got social media going. I love this. I think it's great. It's ridiculous. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Like
it is awesome.
Yeah.
So the basic premise is, as you see her backstage, she sleeps. She sleeps all the time. She's sleeping all over the place at the CWC. So she comes out for her match, and she's got a huge body pillow and like a cup with something in it. And so she's laying at various places on the apron, on the top rope throughout the match, all holding the tag rope too. She's holding this tag rope the whole time. At one point, she gets up, kind of stretches, gets a drink of water, gets tagged in, and then Amari Miller takes a swing at her, and she does like a yawn stretch, but kind of bends backwards to avoid a punch.
It's kind of the Matrix-y type thing.
Yeah.
It was very smooth. It was
completely within character.
Yeah,
it was
totally,
great.
yeah.
And then bang, she turns it on, and she just hits move. She covers Amari. Casey breaks up that pin. The match kind of breaks down. And while the match is breaking down around her, Wendy Chu's like falling asleep on the mat.
Yeah, she goes take a nap, yeah.
And then Amari grabs her foot. Wendy kicks her off. Persia gets tagged in. She hits like her TKO type finish. And then Indy falls with a top rope elbow to get the win. But yeah, a really fun performance. Really fun.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, they point out here also with like a Starbucks cup.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, like the insulated cups. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was good stuff. We had MSK backstage. They see the Death Dick Cup trophy. They say the road to the tag titles run through the Dusty Classic. History's about to repeat itself. Let's go run through all these teams. Dakota Kai steps in. They never really did explain why she's weird now, huh? All the stuff with Raquel, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Talks about wanting to win the cup. Tells MSK that nothing defines friendship more than success. And they're like, go away, shoo.
Yeah. We get a Solo Sikoa promo as he's taping up his hands in advance of his match against Boa. He says to Boa, if you want to jump me from the shadows, I don't care. Which one of your personas shows up, let's get after it.
Yeah. After that, Kaylee Ray stumbles upon the now over with photo shoot from Mandy's photo shoot. She walks in. She's got her bat with her. She's like, she can show up for photo shoots, but she can't defend the title. And then Kaylee Ray starts destroying the set with her bat.
Yeah, she knocks the camera off the tripod.
Yeesh.
With bat. Then we got Boa versus Solo Sikoa. There's like 4 or 5 minutes of match, and then they brawl out to the floor. They both get counted out, and they brawl backstage. Commentary throws to an AJ interview where he puts over NXT again. The passion, he says it's infectious. Again, dumps on Grayson Waller, says he's like his passion is not infectious. He says what Waller's got is nervous confidence. For the first time, Grayson has got to step at the plate. The Waller effect ends tonight. 2022 is going to be AJ's year. He's going to win the Rumble, headline race WrestleMania, and it's all going to start by shutting Grayson Waller's mouth.
Yep. After that, we see Mello and Trick arrive at the CWC in their Bentley. They give the keys to a new Performance Center recruit, and they say, take care of the car. So Solo and Boa, they're still brawling backstage. Solo tosses Boa over a road case, reaches over to grab him, and then he gets hit by the fireball.
Yeah.
He's like, my eyes,
Came
my
out of
eyes.
nowhere.
And then Boa emerges from behind the road case, and he's got the face paint on.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then commentary announces that Von Wagner's suspension has been lifted and his fine has been paid. But by who?
Ooh.
I mean,
don't know.
it's Robert Stone. It's Robert Stone.
Oh, yeah. He was looking at
Robert
Von
Stone.
Wagner that whole time. That makes
But like
sense.
the idea that Von Wagner can't pay his own fine, I found funny.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Anyways, after that, we have Carmelo Hayes.
It's a weird story beat to have just in one episode of NXT.
Von Wagner is a weird story beat. That dude is a walking weird story beat.
Yeah,
like
that's
they had
true.
him debut in that fatal in the 4-way in the
Yeah, I
very
know.
first episode of 2.0.
I know.
With no idea who this guy was.
I know.
He's been weird the entire. He had that weird turn on Kyle O'Reilly. The entire Von Wagner's weird.
I feel like after the first 2 or 3 weeks, obviously they were just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall, see what stuck. A lot of things are kind of falling into place now. A lot of characters are falling into place. A lot of gimmicks, storylines are falling into place. Von Wagner is still one of those characters that are just trying to throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and see if anything sticks to him, it feels like.
And it's kind of great because he is so confusing. After that, we had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. They come out. Trick says, he's hyping them up. Say, everybody get out of your seats, make some noise for your North American champ. He says, I'm happy because when Mello has gold, we both have gold. Mello and Trick go together like peanut butter and jelly, like Shaq and Kobe, like Trick and big bootied women. Carmelo's like, okay, relax, dude, relax. Like, what? I love Trick Williams, man.
He's great.
He is so charismatic. Mm-hmm. So Mello says we got some serious business to get to last week. I had one of the toughest challenges of my career against Roddy. So with that being said, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Strong's cruiserweight title reign. And Mello produces the brown bagged.
He's got a bottle in like a brown bag. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna pour one out.
Yeah.
So Trick holds up Roddy's shirt. Mello says, "Rest in piss to all my ops." Pours one out. The bottle's empty. He says, "Okay, enough of that. Now let's celebrate." Mello says, "Since I got the ball, it's been nothing but first downs and touchdowns, and I'm not passing no time." He's got more accomplishments than he's got months in NXT when it comes to things that are true. Numbers don't lie, and Mello don't miss because he is the walking cheat code, a history maker, the most scintillating champ in NXT ever. You can call it the NXT Unified North American. Can we talk for a minute so I can know your name championship if you want? But because it's around his waist, this is the A championship. So you can step up and get stepped on, and that's all it is. And that's all it's ever going to be. He said it a lot better than I could have.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Yeah. Then we get Mello and Trick back in the parking lot. Grimes is there waiting for him, leaning against Mello's Bentley. He's got the keys, too. Grimes says, in 2021, I've been doing donuts in this Bentley, but in 2022, I'm coming for that North American title. And in 2022, I'm going to the moon. And so he tosses Mello his keys and says, don't miss.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And Mello can't catch the keys.
He doesn't catch the keys. Yeah, he gets mad about that. He's going to try to go after him, but Trick holds him back. And then we had our main event, AJ Styles versus Grayson Waller. Again, dude, Grayson was keeping up with AJ. Again, you're in there with AJ Styles. He's one of the best. But in terms of seeing how this guy can keep up, he did a damn good job.
Yeah,
he did. Good job.
He really did. That rolling's, I know it in no way practical if you even think about it, but that rolling stunner into the ring that Waller does, great. Smooth.
Dude,
that sliding clothesline he did out the floor, great.
Yeah. Half of wrestling moves don't make any sense.
I know.
But if you can execute them really smoothly, who gives a shit, And he does this. Like, if you think about the kind of strength it takes and quickness and agility it takes to shoot yourself into the ring, do the roll, and then hit the stunner, man, that doesn't look easy, and he does it so smoothly. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it is. In the end, though, AJ gets the win. Hits a phenomenal forearm. He grabs the mic, tells Waller, "You're good, but you're not phenomenal. It's not over for you yet. I want to introduce you to one of my friends in this LA night." He comes down to the ring. He chases Waller around, beats the heck out of him. Afterwards, he's celebrating. AJ kind of grabs him by the shoulder. It seems like, hey, are they going to throw down? No, they're buddies. They shake hands.
Were you curious about how are these guys friends? They were not in Impact at the same time. I was just sort of curious about that because when he says one of my friends, I was racking my brain. I'm like, Finn?
Well, I mean,
who's this gonna be?
WB writing uses the idea of friends pretty liberally when it comes to advancing storylines.
Yeah,
they could have met backstage for the first time last night.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey AJ, yeah. My name is L.A. Knight. I've got 2 letters for my first name, too. L.A., you're A.J. Let's be friends.
There you go. It could just be that.
I want to get that Waller guy. Oh, great news. Great news. I got a match against him. How about this? After I win, I'll introduce you as my friend.
You can come pick him up.
We're friends, yeah. And then we'll hug. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah. Enforcer. We didn't mention this. The unified Mello beanie was great that Mello had on. That was great. I feel bad because I left what he said. I'm not very good at the note taking because here when he says, when I get the ball, I get first downs, touchdowns. I forgot to write soon in there. He says, I'm not passing soon. I didn't put the soon in there, so it didn't make sense. So my apologies. Yeah,
that honestly, he had such a rhythm going, and I never would have been able to capture that I just ran through those words.
So he says, I'm not passing anytime soon. I didn't put the soon in there.
Yeah, I appreciated this, though. He says you can call it, like he named the championship, the NXT Unified North American We Can Talk for a Minute So I Can Know Your Name Championship if you want. I love that. That's great.
It is. It is. That's
can we
what
talk
was
for
so
a minute
good.
so I can know your name?
It was so good that I was like, okay, I'm going to get this word for word.
Mm-hmm.
Rewind a little bit to make sure I get it perfectly.
The Unified North American Can We Talk for a Minute So I Can Know Your Name Championship.
Yeah, it was really good.
Let's see here on the Patreon. Gregory Fiella says, will Braun Breaker main event a WrestleMania in the next 3 years or less? The odds are no, but anything's possible in WWE. People can ascend really fast or not.
I don't know about less than 3 years. 3 years seems like the shortest amount of time for him to main event. But based on, I know it's a small sample size, but based on the trajectory he's on, I would not be surprised if he made events WrestleMania in 3 years.
Sometimes, like with certain people, lightning just strikes. I know Cena. Well, Cena. I don't know when Cena first main event at WrestleMania.
It was 2006.
Probably 2006.
Because when he won the belt in 2005, he didn't main event.
He was not the main. It was Triple H Batista.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Lenkick says, at the moment, the only thing keeping me interested in NXT 2.0 are the Australians. What is keeping your interest alive, or has it died? No, we've talked about talk about what keeps us into it every single week, So yeah, we sort of mentioned that throughout the show.
Yeah, yes, the growth of the wrestlers is what keeps me invested. White Brownie with Pete Dunne putting over Tony D'Angelo, no Ciampa, Io or Raquel. Could we see them getting the call up? Dunne and Ciampa, yeah, 1,000%. They're getting
that's happening. That's happening.
Potentially Io and Raquel, yeah, we could maybe see them in the Women's Rumble.
I definitely hope so. Let's see here. Xavier Gray, are AJ Styles and Grayson Waller going to continue their feud until WrestleMania or not? I would say no. I think
it's over now. I think they're going to do Knight Waller now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alex Foster, what's going on with Dexter Lumis? His pushes seem way too on and off. That's a hard character to get on a consistent basis.
And I think that's just kind of his role right now in NXT.
Yeah. David Matushek, with LA Knight turning face, will he still keep his yeah? Yeah. He's probably gonna double down on him.
Yeah, he still do the yeahs and dummies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's see here. All right, I think that's gonna do it for us. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And then tonight we've got our AEW review.
We do.
So
we do.
Join us for that.
Yes, please. So, hey, Steve.
Yeah.
And Alex, if she's still here in chat, you got this.
Yeah. Got what?
Quizzlemania, you got this.
Oh shit, Quizzlemania.
Yeah, you got about 48 minutes to prep.
I gotta get going. I gotta go figure that one out.
You got this.
All right.
Before you do that, though, send me the thumbnail. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you a thumbnail. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.